How's it going, guys? Rangovids and Mango12 here, and yes, I do know of course that you guys have been waiting for this issue for far too long, especially with me being a few days late, but the main reason is because I was about to upload my Spider-Verse Team Up issue 3 review yesterday, and then I realised that Spider-Woman issue 3 actually took place before the Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, meaning that it would make more sense for me to upload Spider-Woman issue 3 first, and then Spider-Verse Team Up issue 3, so yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, of course, if you waited long enough for this, we're going to review this, and then later today, my Spider-Verse Team Up issue 3 review will be up on my channel. So yeah, you've waited long enough for this, guys, let's get into it. Alright, so the issue kicks off with Silk only just finding the Earth 3145 over radioactive Earth that no inheritor can follow her to. I know this actually seemed ages ago. I think it was at the end of Amazing Spider-Man issue 11 that she actually found this, and then we found her in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 12 at the end with Uncle Ben. So this issue is actually building upon that and showing how she found Uncle Ben and how she survived and stuff like that. And I think that's really interesting. Now, of course, I know some of you guys in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 12 review, some of you asked how Spider-Woman had changed her costume. And this is how. It's mainly because she actually went to dinner with Marlon in Loom World before she actually did anything else. And of course, she says that she's not hungry, and Marlon just flips the table, which is pretty ridiculous. And apparently, Spider-Woman in this world can do everything. She can dance, she usually has a pretty good appetite, and Marlon starts asking questions because she doesn't want to dance, she doesn't want to eat, so she makes up something about her being ill and all of that, and uses a bit of her pheromone powers to actually get away from Marlon. Now guys, one thing that I do want to stress is that this issue is actually set before the Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, so even though I uploaded the Amazing Spider-Man issue 13 first, I did that by mistake. So really, all of this makes sense, and yeah, But anyway, as you can see, Silk has found the fallout shelter that she was actually held up in the 616 universe, and of course, as you guys should know, cockroaches actually can survive nuclear wars. So she's actually made a friend with a cockroach right there. And then we go back to the Loom world, and we actually see a really nice cameo of Mary Jane. And in this universe, this is the Mary Jane of the Loom world, and Spider-Woman just straight up jaws her in the face, which I thought was actually pretty hilarious. And as you can see, we do have one of the Loom world guards actually going to the toilet, and it kind of reminds me of the second mission of the Amazing Spider-Man 1 game, where that guy is like going to the toilet and you like jump out of the air vent and beat him up. But anyway, so we get Spider-Woman actually launching herself out of an air vent, which is just awesome, especially how she lands in that spider pose as well. And I don't know about you guys, but do her like wrist guards kind of remind you of Assassin's Creed? I am sure they do. Oh, I'm just going to pretend you answered that question. But yeah, so Spider-Woman actually stumbles upon the room where the Master Weaver is being held up, and as you can see, there's just all these pictures of Spider-Man, and I think that's the Amazing Spider-Man out the Amazing Spider-Man movie right there. And then of course you have all the alternate versions, and we get this awesome shot of the Master Weaver, and it's basically just, this is how Spider-Woman gets the scrolls. Now I know in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 12, I think it is, we actually do see Spider-Woman send the scrolls to the rest of the Spider-Man team, but this is how she actually gets them. Now as you can see there at the top right of the corner, some people are speculating that that was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but right now as you can see, she's actually being given the scrolls, and it seems that the Master Weaver is actually the person who made all of this happen, who actually changed all of everyone's destinies to bring them all together and stuff like that. And as she was about to go through the portal, she was actually launched away by the Master Weaver, saying that she could not go through there. But of course, what you've got to remember is that Spider-Woman actually switched her teleporter device with Silk, so Spider-Woman's teleporter thing doesn't actually have enough power to send all of her through. So what she does instead is she just sends the scrolls through the teleporter back to 616 Spider-Man and the rest of the team. Now we actually saw this in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 12, or was it Amazing Spider-Man issue 11? No, it was Amazing Spider-Man issue 12. We actually already saw that, but of course what you've got to remember is that this was set before the Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, so yeah, that could be a bit confusing if you haven't, you know what I mean. I'm kind of confusing myself right now. But yeah, so if you remember, the Spider-Woman of the Loom world was actually on this ship back in Spider-Woman issue 2, and now she's actually used her pheromones to take over the entire crew and is about to pretty much kill Spider-Woman, our Spider-Woman, 616 Spider-Woman, and she just straight up punches her in the face, which I thought was just amazing. And then of course, as we see at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, Spider-Gwen and Silk actually come to Spider-Woman's rescue, and of course, that is not a very good idea, and Silk actually breaks her teleporter again, and that's when all three of them are then stuck there in that universe. So basically Silk, Kane and the Scion are all in the Loom world now, and of course, as you can see at the bottom right of this page here, at the bottom right of the screen it says continued in Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, because this was supposed to be before the Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, but I was stupid and forgot. But yeah, so what did you guys think of this issue? I know that I kind of rushed this one just because I've kind of got to go somewhere and I'm kind of in a bit of a rush, but yeah, so I am actually going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. It kind of did get a bit confusing because I got like the whole issue after Amazing Spider-Man issue 13 mixed up and everything like that, but I thought that art was absolutely brilliant. I kind of really like Spider-Woman. This series is actually going to continue after Spider-Verse as well, so that's going to be interesting. And of course, in the next 2 issues of Spider-Woman, she actually gets a new costume, so that's going to be interesting to see. But what did you guys think of this? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sorry that I didn't have a giveaway for this issue either, but yeah, so I actually previewed this on my Facebook page more than 2 weeks ago, so go to the link in the description, follow me on my Facebook page, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and look out for my Spider-Verse Team Up issue 3 review later today, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Goodbye.